Good morning. Buenos días. Buenas minutes. Can you hear me well? Can you see me well? Good morning. From one point of view, just the fact of being here together, that's already a large part of the meditation. That we made the effort to take some time out of our day, that we made the effort to find a place, a quiet place. That little effort that we made to be here now, that's already a large part of the meditation. It's very important to, one of the main powers that we have as human beings is the power of our attention. And it's very important to ask ourselves often, where is my attention going? What am I really paying attention to? And what is important is to distinguish between what I think I should be paying attention. And that can be very beautiful, what I think I should be paying attention to. It could be a mirror, in a sense, of my higher ideals, what I should be paying attention to. And that's very important to notice. But it is also very important to notice what I'm truly paying attention to in my everyday life, in my little moments. What am I really paying attention to? Because what I'm really paying attention to is really going to be the building blocks of my life. And most people spend most of their time paying attention to their thoughts, to their worries, to their anxieties, to their plans, to the future. Some people to their past. So a very good question to ask often is, what am I really paying attention to? And for example, I started this because the fact that we are here now, we are paying attention to this. That's already that's very important for all of us. And to return to this sensation, feeling, understanding that we don't have to always move into the next moment. That there is something very valuable, there is something very fundamental in this moment right now. Just the recognition that there is something very, is more than important. It's truly at the depths of our search is the recognition of this moment right now. Not the content of this moment right now. The content of this moment may be something interesting, maybe something very boring, maybe something difficult, but the content of this moment keeps coming and going. The content of this moment keeps changing, continually changing. And what I'm pointing to is not as an exercise. It's very important to pay attention to the content of the moment, to keep returning to what is happening. And during the meditation today, we will do some paying attention to some things, some objects, subtle objects. We will pay attention to the body, we will pay attention to the breathing. These are subtle objects. And the breathing, the objects, gross objects or subtle objects, they are part of the content of the moment. They are what appears in the moment, but it's also what will disappear from the moment. But what we can slowly start to recognize that the moment itself doesn't change. The content of the moment is continuously changing. There is nothing that remains the same from second to second. Even the body, which seems to be the same, is continually renovating, continually. There are billions of cells being born and dying every second. It's just that we don't have the senses to perceive the changes of the body. So it seems that the body doesn't change. But if we have different kinds of senses, then we will recognize that the body is continually changing too. So everything is continually changing. But the moment itself, and that's just a word, there is something that allows this changing to happen. This changing happens somewhere. And this somewhere, we can call it, and it's not the right name, but we can call it the moment, we can call it now. And it has many names. And that moment, that now, is always the same. It is one now in which many things keep moving, coming, going, appearing, disappearing, being created, being destroyed, staying, going, moving, moving, moving. But the moment, this one, now, is the essence, is what allows everything else to happen. So, as a to come closer to that possibility of recognition. Paying attention to the content of the moment is fundamental, it's very important. Not to be always lost in the thoughts, in the worries, in the plans, in what may come, what may not come, what I need to do, what I'm not going to do. All this is fine. We need to do that, but not as the main object of our attention. If we understand, and this is fundamental, if we understand that there is something else to life, if we have in our heart this calling, and this calling is fundamental. Without this calling, then all this really, truly doesn't make any sense at all. So this calling is at the very beginning, at the very base of the pyramid. The pyramid, which ends at the recognition of this unchanging presence. At the very base of the pyramid is this calling, this feeling, this understanding, this sense in the heart that there is something else to life. And then the feeding of that calling, which this meditation hopefully is that, is really, and my classes and hope that's what I do, is really in many ways my whole work, what I do in the yoga classes, in the meditations, in my talks, is nothing but a feeding, like food for that calling. That's how many times I see my work. I see what I do. Is simply like good food for that calling. And so there are many aspects that we can start to, from that calling, Carmen, she asked me a question. I will, maybe after the meditation, we can do some questions, or especially tonight, I have a session mostly for that, for questions. It's a very good question. And it's a difficult thing to answer. I have something very similar to that. I have also a lot of pain in my body. But yes, it's possible. For sure, it's possible. So for this meditation, I would like to use two simple pranayama exercises. And so before we start the meditation per se, I would like us together to practice this. They're two very simple exercises. They're breathing exercises. And the first of this exercise is what is called a breathing, yoga breathing, which we did it several times during the yoga classes. Some of you maybe have done it, which is simply, we're going to inhale, filling up the three parts of the lungs, which is, we first start filling up the tummy. So we fill up the tummy, then we try to fill up the area of the ribs, and then finally we try to fill up the chest area. So the rib area is more difficult to do. It requires more practice. Most people spend almost all their time breathing only in their chest, which usually looks something like this. So most people only breathe here. This is the stress breathing. It's a breathing that makes you very active, but makes you very stressful. And what I would like you to try is to bring the breathing from the chest all the way down to the tummy. It's like the tummy expands like a balloon. So for now, just spend a few seconds just breathing with your tummy. Just try not to breathe at all with your chest. Also not with your ribs, but breathe only with your tummy. So you can put your hands at the level of your navel. So it's like you put your hands like this, and the middle fingers are kind of touching the navel. You can close your eyes if you want to, just for a few seconds. And simply breathe with your tummy. Now, when you inhale with your tummy, then see if you can continue. You bring your hands up into your ribs. Also, keep your hands like this, but bring them a bit higher. The hands are on your ribs. And you try to, it's like the hands pull out. It's like the ribs pull out. And then see if you can keep breathing. Put your hands on your chest. And the last bit of air, you try to fill up the lungs, the upper lungs, the part of your chest. So you start with your tummy, inhale, then the ribs expand, then the chest, inhale. And then also through the nose, you very gently exhale all the way to your tummy. I don't know if you will be able to see me. So basically, is you put your hands on your tummy. It's good to exhale first. So you exhale, and then inhale to your tummy. Then you put your hands on your ribs. And then you put your hands on your chest. And then you exhale the chest, the ribs, and the tummy. And the sensation is a wonderful feeling of filling your lungs with air. Just do that for a few seconds. If you feel that you get dizzy, stop. Dizziness just means that there is too much oxygen in the body, which is a very good thing, but because we are not accustomed, we usually breathe very, very shallowly with your chest, then the body has very little oxygen. And just by itself, this exercise is wonderful to bring more oxygen into the body. Keep doing it as I tell you a few things. One of the aims of pranayama is not the main aim, but one of the main aims is to bring more oxygen into the body, which helps to bring more vitality into the body. Breathing is vitality. Oxygen is vitality. and the fact that we breathe so shallowly, we have so very little oxygen inside. And so for many people, this lack of oxygen is one of the reasons why we are so tired. So just by itself, this little exercise is beautiful just to bring more oxygen in the body. Now, the other exercise I want to try, which we will combine them too during the meditation, is called Ujjayi Pranayama, which is we are going to tight slightly the pharynx, and so we are going to make a very, very gentle sound with the breathing when we exhale. Sorry, when we inhale. You can do it both, but we will only do it when we inhale. When we exhale, we will exhale normally. So to understand where the pharynx is the part that you do when you have your throat full. You do that is the pharynx. So what I wanted to try to do is you're going to very gently try to tight the pharynx, and so there will be a very gentle sound. They said in yoga like a ocean sound. If you tight too much the pharynx, you will be like snoring. That's not good. It can hurt the pharynx. If you don't tighten it enough, there will be no sound at all. So we want to find something between a snoring sound and no sound. So I don't know if you can hear me, but it will be something like this. You bring the chin slightly down, and then you very gently tight the pharynx. So there is a pressure in the air. So you hear a gentle, almost like an ocean sound, like waves breaking in the sea. So throughout the meditation, at a certain point, we are going to take a deep inhalation, just a normal deep inhalation, first with the tummy, then with the ribs, then with the chest. And with all that air, we are going to exhale, tighten the pharynx, hearing this sound. And so at a certain point, the meditation is going to be to concentrate our attention on the inhalation, the full inhalation, and then the exhalation with the ocean sound. At a certain point, that will be the focus of our meditation. So we start a meditation. If you want to find a comfortable position to sit, it's important that you keep your spine long. If you cannot sit, it's even fine that you are standing. But try not to lie on the floor, because lying you will rest, you will relax too much, maybe, or your mind will get too lost in. It's like going to sleep. So please don't lie down. Either sit with the spine long, or if you cannot stand, it's fine to sit in a chair. That's absolutely fine. Close your eyes. And I want you to bring attention to your body. Forget about the breathing for now. Just simply bring attention to your body. And to be more specific, Start to notice your legs. Just notice your feet. Notice your calf muscles. Notice your knees. Notice your thighs. There is really nothing to do with your legs. Just simply pay attention to your legs. Try to feel your legs. Try to sense your legs. Try not to get too lost on the image of your legs. The image of your legs means like a picture that it appears in your mind about how your legs look, which basically means is a memory of your legs. Try not to spend too much time there, but instead go to the actual experience of your legs right now. And the way that the legs will appear in your experience, it will be mostly like an alive sensation, like a vibration. Now notice your hips, your glutes, your genitals. And again, try not to go into an image, but try to go to the actual sensation of what is there. Notice your lower back, your middle back, the upper back. First, probably you connect with your back with an image, but then try to drop the image and try to feel the actual sensation of your back. If you don't feel anything, just stay with the sensation of not feeling anything. If you're leaning against a chair or something, you can feel the sensation of the back touching the chair. If you're not leaning against anything, just feel the sensation of the length of the spine. Now notice your tummy. And notice that there is air coming into your tummy, but don't breathe intentionally. Just notice that there is air coming in and air going out. Try to have a sensation of your tummy. Try not to go to your memory of what you know about your tummy. Try to drop this memory. Try to drop your knowledge and just go to the actual sensation of your tummy. Notice your chest. Don't go to an image. What is actually there in your experience? Notice your arms, your elbows, shoulders, your forearms, your wrists, your hands. Notice your fingers. Try not to move your hands. Try not to move your fingers. Try to have your hands resting in a comfortable place. And try to keep them there without moving. See that at the tip of your fingers, this vibration, this sensation of a vibration is easier to find. Notice your shoulders. Notice your neck. Notice your face. Soften your face, soften your lips, soften your eyes, soften your forehead. And although it is not easy, try to notice your face without thinking about your face. We have an image of our face. A lot of it is just conditioning. Some of it is actually what a face looks like. But try to let go of both of them. And just stay with the actual sensation of your face. Notice the whole of your head. Just try to feel the body as one unity. Maybe for some of you, after going part by part, the body becomes more clear in your experience. This sensation of aliveness, of vibrating, is more clear in your experience. Just stay with it for a few seconds. If you find any tension, just try to let it go. But most important, just simply keep the attention, keep the focus in the sensations of the body. And this will be the basic aim of this meditation, to keep the focus at one aspect. Right now, the aspect is the body. So if you get lost on a thought, you get lost on an idea, on a problem, keep returning, keep bringing the focus back, in this case, into the body, into this sensation of vibrating aliveness that you feel as the body. And it doesn't matter if you get lost 1 time, 10 times, 100 times. It really doesn't matter how many times you get lost. What is important is how many times you return. In this case, you return to the body. This returning, that is the essence of this meditation. It's not about meditating well. It's not about being a good meditator. It's not about reaching any particular sensation. It's not about reaching any particular state of mind. It's not about that. This meditation is only about returning, bringing the attention back. And right now, we bring the attention back into the body. And it's not important how the body feels. The body may be more tense, maybe more relaxed, maybe more anxious. It doesn't matter. It's not about experiencing any particular sensation. It's about bringing the mind back into the body. Now, start to notice your breathing. Start to notice that the breathing is entering the body. For now, don't control your breathing at all. Just simply notice the breathing. Notice how the breathing enters into the body. And just keep the focus there. Just keep the focus on the breathing without controlling, without changing your breath. Nothing needs to change, nothing needs to happen. There is no correct way to do this. All that has to happen is that you're bringing your attention into the breathing. And if you get lost 10 times or 100 times, you bring the attention back into the breathing. Nowhere to go, nothing to do other than paying attention to the breathing, returning to the breathing, bringing the attention back into the breathing. It's not easy. The moment you realize you're lost, you come back. And you come back into the breathing. So it's very easy. You only have to come back. Now, I would like you to start to do this kind of breathing you practiced at the beginning. I want you to fill the tummy with air, then try to fill the ribs with air, then try to fill your chest with air. You will keep the air inside then for 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. And then very, very slowly and very, very gently, I want you to exhale the air without doing anything else. Just exhale first the chest, then the ribs, then the tummy. And then you will do that again. And just do it several times. So now the focus is in this kind of breathing. Tummy, ribs, chest, keeping, and then exhaling, chest, ribs, tummy. And that's all. Stay there. And if you get lost, return to this kind of breathing. Keep returning, keep coming back to this particular kind of breathing, this control breathing. If at any moment you get dizzy, just stop doing the exercise and just come back to the normal breath. What is important is the coming back. The mind will present an enormous amount of resistance to stay with this very simple exercise. And basically, this meditation is about dealing with that resistance. Just bringing the mind back, bringing the mind back. Right now, we bring the mind back into this particular exercise of controlled breathing. Tummy, ribs, chest, keeping the air for a few seconds, and then chest, ribs, tummy. In the muscle of keeping the mind focused on one object. The object right now is the object of breathing. Now just stop controlling your breath and return to the normal breathing. Just simply focus on the breath without controlling the breathing. Now we're going to take a deep inhalation, tummy, ribs, chest, and then with the lungs full of air, you're going to bring the chin very gently down, and then you're going to tight the pharynx very gently, and you're going to hear this ocean sound as you exhale. And I want you to focus on that sound. And then when you exhale, you're going to very gently again inhale, tummy, ribs, chest, and then you're going to bring the chin down and you're going to exhale, tighten the pharynx, focusing on the sound that you're making. And I want you to keep the focus on the deep inhalation and then on the sound of the exhalation. And just keep the focus there. The deep inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. Focus your attention. Just keep coming back to the deep inhalation and to the sound of the exhalation. Try to make the exhalation as long as you can. Try to keep the sound as long as you can, keeping the focus on the sound. If you get lost, don't worry. Just return to what you're doing. Deep inhalation, sound of the exhalation. That's the focus. What is important is to keep returning to the object of your attention. The object can be 1,000 different things, but right now, the object is your deep inhalation and the sound of your exhalation. That's the focus of your attention, and keep returning to that. We'll just do 2 more of these breathings, only 2 more. And at your own time, when you finish with these two last controlled breathing, I want you to completely stop controlling your breath. And I just want you to try to hear the silence around you, including the sounds that you hear. Just focus on the silence around. In this silence, there will appear some sounds, like, for example, my voice. But even if you hear my voice appears because there is a silence that allows my voice to appear. I want you to hear the silence, which allows my voice or any other sound to appear. The silence is also an object, just like the breathing, just like my voice. But it's a very subtle object. It's probably the subtlest of all the objects that there is. Try to keep your focus on the silence. If your mind starts to get too lost in thought, in worries, in discomfort, bring the mind back to the breathing. The breathing is an easier object to grasp. So just notice the breathing for a few seconds, and then from the breathing, try to move into the silence. See that to stay with the silence, the tension of attention has to relax. There is a relaxation of attention that allows you to hear the silence. Try to see what I mean by this relaxation of attention. There is still attention, but it's an attention that gets relaxed. And just very slowly, allow more air to come in and more air to go out. Let more air come into the body, more air leave the body. And slowly open your eyes. Thank you for staying all this time. I always have the aim to make this meditation shorter, but I feel that it needs time for this, for the mind to quiet, to find the space. I know it's difficult to stay for the whole hour, and I'm going to try to make them shorter as we go. If you can stay for this time, it's a wonderful practice. It's a magnificent practice, but I know it's not easy. Tonight, I will have a session with an introduction in which I will be talking about a beautiful poem, and then there will be time for questions and answers. Hopefully, some of you can join me. You have to send me. You have to sign up so I can send you the. I can send you the link for the Zoom. I want to try to do it in Zoom so we can interact with each other. If you don't know, just send me an email and then I can send you the link where to sign up. I hope you have a beautiful day and keep bringing your mind back into the moment. Practice this. Keep returning to the moment. Take even 5 seconds. Stop the movements of your day and return to the moment. Thank you very much. And I hope to see some of you tonight at 6 p.m. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ciao.